16 play.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning's team for Wednesday, November 15th. It's F1 week here in Las Vegas, and we're getting ready for the big race this weekend, but there's more sports to talk about here today with our card of Wednesday action, including NBA 8 games, regular season games, no tournament action. How about those fancy t-shirts that the players wear on the bench during the game and it says in-season tournament? More action last night. Good action. Crazy action. We'll talk about it. 4 games on the ice and a big college card as well. We'll talk a few games there, maybe even preview a few college games, and then we'll get into the action for this weekend's NFL tomorrow. But there is, real quick, to start off the show, a little bit of breaking news. Just coming across just a few minutes before the show, Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson is going to be ruled out for the remainder of the season. He did break a bone in his shoulder on that injury that we saw, and Watson has been ruled out for the remainder of the regular season. I would imagine the entire season. They're calling it a broken bone in his shoulder, so collarbone, shoulder, whatever they have nowadays. And these superhuman guys. Anyways, bummer for Watson moving forward after his last injury. Cleveland certainly somewhat of a puncher's chance, if you will, move, before this. I don't know how that'll affect them now. We're seeing the line move here. I mean, they have a huge game on tap with Cleveland, both teams 6-3 in that really strong division. And like I said, puncher's chance to get something done in the conference, but they're going to have to do it with Walker or whatever their plans are going to be. The line has moved, already moving this morning. Cleveland was about a 4-point favorite, maybe even down to 3 a little bit. As the worries continued about Watson and the speculation, and now today we get the news, Cleveland is a 2-point favorite currently at most shops, and the totals dipped to 34.5, now 34. I did see it go to 33.5 and then back up real quick, but still a big story here to start our day with Deshaun Watson out for the season. All right, let's say hello to some folks and preview the games today. What you want to talk about? You want to talk about the fights in the basketball games? You want to talk about college basketball? I see Hunter Dickinson looking pretty NBA-ish, if you ask me. And say hello to our friends. Ferner, he's got us going on motivation today, of course. And also, Looks is here and Tyler as well. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see if we can get a few more people in here before we uh, get rolling on our previews for today. But not a huge card necessarily. Probably make it a shorter show. I've been keeping you guys kind of long, and you guys have been so good to hang out with me the entire way. Do you want to also just to give a few thoughts, if I may? Maybe I've made a few winners on this channel. I can speak by Josh. The USC couldn't get it going, and I always talk about Andy Enfield, but man, they couldn't. They definitely looked the better team out there. That's all I can say about that. But things definitely didn't go their way. But if I may, for just a moment, uh, talk about the San Diego Padres owner, head owner, if you will, chairman Peter Seidler, passing away yesterday at the age of 63. Seidler bought the Padres 11 years ago with his equity group. He's really just the face of the company, him and his brother, another partner, and some silent partners from Mexico. You might know them as the richest uh, telephone magnate family in the world, the Helou family, but Alfredo Helou, kind of the Padres angel investor a little bit, is family loves baseball. They own the Mexico City Reds, and they're super rich, and they root for the Padres. They, a lot of Latin influence on the team, certainly, maybe even more so moving forward. The Seidler family plans on keeping the brother. His brother actually is another top partner. You just don't see him as much. But Seidler, if you remember, in some of my commentary, I had said that in the past few weeks that or months even as we were in the season that Seidler wasn't healthy. He'd already gone through two cancer scares, and uh, you know uh, it was one of those you just don't say what's going on. They don't say it, and they still don't. But knew he wasn't well, but he was on recovery. Uh, People say that he was looking to spend all his money before he passed. He was still planning on living. Just things don't work out, right? So. Seidler, uh, pretty important in this community, in the San Diego community. Probably the most, maybe the most philanthropic or at least caring and giving owner the team has ever had. Uh, and he went out with a bang, man. This guy was actually trying to win a World Series. A grandson of Walter O'Malley. Imagine this story. Actually, it's unfathomable, really. This man, Peter Seidler, to own the Padres, the grandson of Walter O'Malley, who bought the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1950. 8 years later, of course, and moved them to Los Angeles, coordinated the move with the New York Giants to move to San Francisco at a time when no baseball teams were out, west of the Mississippi, or at least through Kansas City. And eventually, uh, after the O'Malleys were kind of, I don't know, forced to sell the Dodgers in a way. Remember how that went down and all that? Corporates come in, and this man ends up owning the Padres and really ended up saying, well, I hate the Dodgers. So he was our man. So Peter Seidler passes away, and I just wanted to share that story with you. And we'll go over to tonyspicks.com and see how everyone did last night. I'm on a hey, Ziggy, nice to see you. Frankie's here. Wow, Frankie, what a pleasure. How are you? Go over to tonyspicks.com and check up on the handicappers on the site. See how they did. I'll tell you what, Hollywood Sam continues to roll right now with a 4-0 day here on the site. And Joseph Schultz rolls a 2-0 as well. Ron Crawford 5-3 yesterday, good for a unit. Daniel Wolosachuk, another day, another win for the hottest capper in the industry. Collins Brown 3-2 yesterday. Nick Bartini 2-1 for the last 7 days. Daniel Wolosachuk, nothing's changed here. Just 17-1-1, cranking out a player two a day and win them all basically at this point. So pick up Daniel's plays here at the website. Please do so. Sean Dinwiddie here, really hot right now, clicking in currently at 69%, nearly 11 units of profit over the last 7 days. Nick Lagaretos is up 10 units. Over the last 7 days, Joseph Schultz up 9 1/3 units, and Tiffany Mance is up 7 units over the last 7 days on the site. Over the last 30 days at Tony'sPicks.com, it's Daniel Wolosachuk crushing it right now, certainly 71%, over 22 units of profit. Over the last 30 days, Hollywood Sam is up 20 units of profit. Chauncey Giles is up 1,000 units, and Tony T's up 859 units as well. And Marlo Pettis is up a nickel over the last 30 days at Tony'sPicks.com. Check out our premium picks section. There you'll find our best picks every day from our team of handicappers. 3 packs, 5 packs, 7 packs will be available later today. Best bets from the crew, including Nick Lagaretos, and the GM as well has his pick in there. Also, $15 picks from Daniel Walasachuk. That seems like free money at $15, and Daniel's hot streak of 17-1-1. Hey, I missed that yesterday, you guys. We got in such a haste with such a long show. We missed all that delicious steam. So don't let me forget to put that on the air. I think I have it. I shared it in the Discord. Hey, head on over to the Discord. Let me pop that in there uh, in the chat so that you guys can check us out over there. I give a few picks in there every day. Also, late breaking news, injuries, and how about some of the action yesterday, you guys, with uh, the Warriors and their big on court fight last night with the Timberwolves, with Rudy Gobert and McDaniels and Draymond and Clay and the big fight. And there'll be ejection. There were ejections. There will be suspensions as well, handed down. And you know what? When you're a repeat offender like Dre is, could something else get tacked on? Could he see more than just a few games? Because it's always Dre, isn't it, you guys? And uh, could Dre end up being one of those chemistry killers a little bit here? Sure, he won out in the battle with Jordan Poole, but uh, this guy's act has been tired for a long time, right? You're not going to doubt his desire, and you know what he always comes back to, which is an excuse for a lot of jackasses, is I'm just trying to win, but you can't circumvent the rules of the game. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Might be the retort. But that's not sportsmanlike. And this guy's never played the game that way, but a champion nonetheless. There are 2 ways to get there. And I'm seeing it right there. Don't look at the screen there. I'm not supposed to have that. All right. Let's other games last night. We saw what will the Lakers do tonight, right? Considering, let me pop that Discord in there, you guys. And if you guys want to come by, it's always free. And check out other contributors as well with their information. So big card yesterday on the in-season tournament, and we saw the Lakers clobber the Grizzlies. What will happen today when the Lakers are expected to come back in a back-to-back? If you know what I mean, will the Stars be in there? Hello to Perky and Matt and Gerardo today. Chad's here as well. Hello, Jerry Norris. Great to see you. Smoke is in here last night. We were up late hanging out together last night. Jose is here as well today. So it looks like we got a good crew and can start the show. Get your comments, get your picks in here. And we'll do that Steam as well. Maybe update you on some other Steam that comes in on the morning Steam. We got to do more Steam. I mean, that's supposed to be my thing. So, got to do something. Got to pick some winners with me here. You guys need some help. How'd we do last night on the show? We had some winners in the NBA. We had the Pistons here on the show. We had Spurs and Thunder under. We had the Nets. We had the Pelicans. We had Clippers, Nuggets under. We had the Warriors and the Wolves under. We had some winners. And NHL, not as many. We jinxed ourselves a little bit. We had the Blue Jackets on the puck line yesterday as a winner. We had the Ducks on the puck line as a winner. We had the Winnipeg Jets. We had the Coyotes on the puck line. And rumor has it the Florida Panthers somehow got there last night. No doubt, Ziggy Dre should not have gone for the chokehold. Now, I looked at that at first and I said, well, that's what it got me at first. I said, Dre was going to be in real trouble. But, the thing was, even though it wasn't the chokehold necessarily, it was Gobert that did appear to have Clay wrestled by the neck. Uh, the other way, like just grabbing him around the neck on the other way. It wasn't choke hold necessarily, but maybe we could get Draymond in there in some celebrity boxing and somebody knock his butt out, right? Because it's always fun to take a nice cheap shot. Anyways, college basketball last night. Man, what'd you guys think of that? We're gonna start to. We really got to start to dive in here. I guess as we wind down college football, certainly. But a big game last night. Kentucky and Kansas. Of course, Kansas winning that one, coming back from a 7-point halftime deficit, and they uh, trailed by as many as 14 points with 16 minutes to go in the game. But Kansas wins it behind Dickinson. I said 27 points, 21 rebounds. He looks very NBA out there. Kansas right now, to me, look, I respect. Who's near the top, who's at the top. I mean, you got to put Kansas right there right now. I think they're taking the lead in Ramon's poll, if you will. BZ, hello. Marquette, how about Kolick? Looking good yesterday for Marquette wins that one. And Duke over Michigan State, the other game in the Champions Challenge. In that one, Blue Devils shot pretty well. Oregon State over Appalachian State. I had a loser in that one. It went overtime, and they ended up Oregon State won by 10. So that was a bummer. Oregon State 3-0 with 2 wins in overtime. They look like the exciting team coming up this season. So Toledo, they won in football and basketball. It was a good night for Toledo. They beat Wright State. They beat Wright State and in basketball. They won in football as well. So late night though with that Irvine game over USC. Hey, uh, Russell Turner might have something going here with the Anteaters. Just to keep an eye on those guys in their conference as well. Certainly a big upset. Other upsets included Illinois Chicago over Loyola Chicago. Santa Clara knocked off Stanford, and Temple beat Drexel as a 4.5-point dog. A little action on the night in college basketball. All right. And Munchie here today. Hello. Got his plays ready to go. If you have to go, Munchie, appreciate you stopping by, giving me your plays today. Then we'll get started here with the action in the NBA. Plenty of steam already rolling in there for sure. We've seen movement on these lines. And we'll just update one more time for those of you just joining us. We just had a handful of people in here early. Maybe you've caught the news, but just real quick, one more time, that Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson will miss the remainder of the season with a shoulder injury. He's going to have to, I don't know if it's a surgery situation, but I imagine these guys nowadays, get it done right. Watson's career isn't over. Broken bones probably not going to stop him, but he'll be missing the rest of the season with a broken shoulder, if you will, some type of break in there that's going to cost him the rest of the season, it looks like. All right, let's get ready to go here with NBA action. I'm ready if you are. And we're going to have a pretty good card here today, I imagine. And we'll start it off with this matchup here with the Mavericks on the road here, taking on the Wizards. And for the Mavericks, of course, they'll be on a back-to-back here in this one. They played against the Pelicans last night. The Pelicans doing a nice job there in that game, in a high scoring game, I believe, yesterday. But the Wizards, maybe they've been better than, I don't know. It's hard to say with a 2-7 record that they're better than their record indicated. They're maybe we were on them, the games they won or the games they've covered or something here. But let's get into it with this one because there has been movement here as well already. The widely reported steam has come in on the over in this game, believe it or not. And now we're seeing this total of, I don't know, is it practically through the roof at this point? Current number is Dallas -6, and the total is up to 245. What is the highest total we've ever seen for a regular season game? Yeah, well, I'm asking you guys. This is my job, but I don't know if you can get much higher than that. Here's the thing about the 240s, right? I mean, yeah, I guess they are going these 230s and 238s and 240s. They are going over for the most part, it feels like. And well, I mean, of course, we're going to jack this one up. Dallas isn't stopping anybody. They are 5-1 to the over so far on the road. Washington's 7-3 to the over overall, and 6-3 to the over as an under. They're just over. These guys are over. They're combined 16-5 to the over so far this season, and just seems like the sky's the limit here. I mean, why would this game not? The Wizards are awful. Will Dallas? Will the back-to-back slow them down? They were in New Orleans. They're in Washington. Comments. Solo says you can still take the over in this one. All right. I just might. And Justin says Luca's point. Take Luca's points over here. I'm going to stop being a jerk. Not Justin. Nice to see you, Justin. Thank you. I think maybe you've stopped by before, and I always say, and I'm not, but when we say Luca points over or under, someone might say. But if I'm going to come in here and rant about one of the world's top sports bettors complaining about people paraphrasing, shortening up lines in speech, I guess I can just assume. I know you guys mean over when you don't specify. No one ever goes under, anyways. But anyways, Luka Doncic, he did correct his spelling. I thought it was cool though. Luka Sonic points, because wouldn't it be great to have Luka on the Sonics back in the day? Ziggy brought his picks in here as well. Ferner cashed out his Browns. How about that? Great information there from Matt regarding the ESPN bet. I know we're on the betting on the game preview here, but as expected, and in reading some of the information, especially from top gambling reporter David Purdom, probably the elite reporter. Actually, I don't know. We talk about sports business related information. Doesn't get much big, but he talked about what ESPN bet, or I should say, Penn Entertainment has done with that app a little bit. We've already seen that. Like I said, that stock go up big time here. Looks like the numbers will be down today on the market so far. But all right, Jerry's got the Mavs here. And I'll just go. I mean, I'm kind of want to save the over as a premium, but I also, get scared just like a lot of people when you're talking about these high totals. But don't be scared and take the over in this one. Maybe it just goes off. Why not? I mean, like I said, there's plenty of plenty of points to go around, I guess, today with these two teams. And just mention to you, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with you guys on the total, but Perky says he's got the Mavs to win this one by 12 or more. And so far, for anything we've seen, the Mavericks are 4-2 against the spread on the road. And Washington. So what I was saying about Washington, they're 2-8, right? And that's bad, but they are 5-5 against the spread. So we're not done trying to find spots on Washington. I don't know if this is going to be it, but maybe it will actually. Even what Perky says about his Mavs today is he says maybe this is a wizard spot. I will just say this about so far. We don't know inconclusive spread data, but they are one and out of that 5-5 record. They played road games mostly so far, so cut them a little bit of slack too for that 2-8 because they're a bad team, but they are just 1-2 against the spread at home. So I wasn't ready to maybe make any conclusions there to get on a side. And you know me, I'll just take a lot of totals. I believe those are easier to predict. I think the 240s are tough because once you get there, it's almost like a race to a certain extent, right? Because sometimes 220 goes over by 20 points or whatever. The 240 rarely is going over by 20, but this one certainly is going to be flirting with the number no matter what. It feels like to me, even if it doesn't get there, the way things are going, and it's being bet like that by the sharps. All right, the New York Knickerbockers going to take on the Atlanta Hawks in NBA action here on Tuesday night. Looks like the Knicks here on the road, a 1.5 point favorite currently, and the total is at 228. And the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Was as high here, I believe, as maybe 230 or so early on. Boy, I feel bad here. Andrei Rublev is having some sort of seizure on the. No, he's just hitting his leg with his racket. Oh boy, I was scared there for a moment. He was doing it repetitively, banging his own body with his tennis racket at least 10 times in a row on his thigh. That can't be comfortable. In fact, they're showing it. He has a bloody knee now from hitting his racket on his knee. What a moron Andrei Rublev is, purposefully injuring himself and cutting his leg with his tennis racket. All right, Knicks and Atlanta here. The Knicks on the road. Oh, where'd my graphic go? Here we go. The Knicks on the road here, a 1.5 point favorite, and the total, is at 228 now after that decline. Did see as high as 231 in this game, but probably going to trust this move actually here with these teams with that under going down to 228. You look at some of the trends with these two teams. I mean, it's really talking about the Knicks and their pretty good defense so far. They've been in some interesting matchups, certainly early on with some high profile games, and they've so far gone 3-7 to the under and 1-4 to the under on the road. But do note that Atlanta is 3-1 to the over at home, although 2-1 with as an underdog to the total. So I'm not going with that. I don't think as my play here. I'm feeling like, man, I don't know. Uh, I do kind of trust the move. Do you guys have a pick on this game? Not yet, huh? Okay. Well, maybe I'll just recite it off and make the call here with these two. Let me check. Also, want to just peek at the injury report on this one. I don't think there's anything. Uh, Trey Young is going to be questionable in this game. RJ Barrett, remember, he missed the last game with a migraine. I hear people want to kind of cast RJ Barrett as a marginal. I don't want to say margin, just an above average starter. I want to say, you know, a little better than that. Um, but he did miss the last game. He was a late scratch with a migraine headache. Those players, I feel for them certainly, and it just must be incredible. But that's just something that is unique to certain individuals that have that problem, and it can be a problem at times where they can miss more time than other people. Okay, here comes some of the chat. I was wondering if it was broken. All right, Ferner says he leans to the Knicks. And what does that mean? Not on the lineups. This one is a game you're going to wait for the line. Wait till game time to the lineups because I don't know if the unless Young is concerned. I didn't mean to startle anybody. I just wanted to see what the deal was with Barrett, and I forgot about Young. He was out for personal reasons, or he's questionable with uh, personal issue. Chad's on the Knicks, Tyler's on the Knicks, Ziggy's on the Knicks. Chad, do not have a no bet. What if, I mean, you got to have, I mean, there are going to be spots. I mean, look at Atlanta so far. They've been able to cover as an underdog 3 out of their 5 games. Oh, and hey, Ouija Torres. This is awesome to have Ouija. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, I think probably. Could be Ouija, but it looks like Ouija. And Ouija says, don't forget, Ramon, you got a back to back here for the Hawks on the road after that, after failing last night against the Pistons. They failed to uh, get the money there. Atlanta, or no, did they cover? I thought the Pistons covered. What was the score of that game? Atlanta 120, 126, 120. Okay, Atlanta got the money. Thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah, Young has the personal. He's out for personal reasons. Family there. Thank you very much, Ouija. Yeah, not an injury, but questionable at this point. Good, uh, good job, Trey. You did it. And any other picks on this one? All right. Well, I guess I'll make the call here on this. I feel like I feel like I do want to take the Knicks. I'm gonna assume that maybe Young is going to play. Sometimes fathers, in my experience, athletes play immediately following the birth of a baby as inspiration. Uh, yeah, you talk about no sleep, but a lot of that's not going to affect a man from having a. I don't know if he had children previously, so we don't worry too much about that. I'll just take the Knicks here. Or, I'm sorry. Oh, did I say that? I meant the under with the Knicks and the Hawks. Oh man, no wonder I can't. Is it because the Hawks here? We'll just worry about that later. Thank you, Ouija. But I'll try the under here. I'm gonna just trust this move. It doesn't look too solid actually. I'm not too sold on it, but obviously I like the side a lot, and I'm kind of blew it there. And hello to Kevin Bennis here today. I don't know what morning mac is, but if it's mac and cheese, I'd be down. Perky, stop it. Sure, it's a very lovely baby. All right, I'll take the under. I'm gonna somehow find the Knicks. I think today. All right, we've got the big one. Well, I'm Count Chocula. All right, here we go with the big one tonight. These guys are going to be going at it again here. The Celtics and the Sixers. Wow. Hey, that's worth it. That's our featured game of the night, I'd say, with Boston and Philly, with these records of these teams coming in here right now. There's already been plenty of betting action on this one. I'm showing the Celtics are up to a 5-point favorite now, and the total is up to 226 and a half. Makes you want to take a look at the uh, status of the Sixers players here a little bit. I'll pop up that injury report and see how we're doing. Oh, I wouldn't say anything too crazy. Ubre's still out. Batum is out for personal or questionable for personal reasons. Now Porzingis, um, he's questionable with some knee soreness, but the line is moving up. Maybe he is going to be in here. It sounds like to me. I'd say that's what the feel is on this one, judging from the current injury report and this move this morning on the Celtics to the Celtics and the over. There's no doubt about that. It looks like to me the widely reported steam did come in here on this one on the over. Uh, they took it at 223 and a half. So could I roll here with another just roll with the steam today? I mean, um, I am the steam chaser after all. It does seem like a pretty solid move. I would think today. I mean, I want to talk about defense with these two teams, but it seems like in the matchup. What about that? Let me see. What was that score? It was okay. It was 108, 103 in that uh, last meeting, and all of these okay, the first one did go over and the next two went under, but I don't know, you guys. This feels like an over to me tonight. Let's see what you guys have to say. Ziggy says his pick is the Celtics. Revenge spot. Good defeated team here that lost their winning streak, right? Well, they had lost to Minnesota before that. Am I interpreting that correctly? Here, Will says, "Look, the line started to roll way down at Philadelphia -1.5, and now it's up to 5." And are we seeing a little bit of weakness off of Philadelphia? They were back to back too. I thought, right? Didn't they play the Pacers last night? And they uh, lost that game 132 to 126 in a wild, high scoring game. Certainly. Frankie says he wants to go over here. Ouija, I hope you are here to stay, my friend. This is the type of contributions that we need. And even though I've really just met you for the first time, I already am impressed with you. So thank you very much for coming today and contributing. Yeah, I did. Chad, I saw two myself. So I think Ouija might also have. I think that 1.5 might have been okay actually. You may certainly was some general 2.5s as well. But I saw there's a report here that FanDuel New Jersey opened two. So I don't think 1.5 is inconceivable, certainly. And I'm not going to. Ouija's info seems pretty solid too here. But again, who cares now, right, guys? Because this line's 5. And do we really think, right? That's why we said, let's look at this injury report. And yeah, Porzingis, is he on just being on the injury report to me is always significant, right? You're bothered by something, whether it be neck, shoulder, whatever's injured. You got some discomfort that you're trying to overcome. So, I think we showed that one from Frankie. Ferner is going to take the Sixers with the points. And why not? I mean, gosh, this is a great series right now. Talk about rivalries or anything. This is Sixers and, Sixers and Celtics. And I like what Ouija's saying here. So, if anything, if I could look at this, the personnel matchups in this game, especially what we've seen so far, right? You do want, Porzingis in there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Embiid is the neutralizer right now. Say what you want. He's not taking, I don't think, anything off defensively. I think he's been absolutely terrific so far in all categories, man. I mean, just been just terrific. Say what you will, right? Oh, Kevin, why did I do that for the second day in a row? Okay, I'm gonna say something. Kevin, were you here yesterday when when we were talking Mac? And yeah, I got the reverse sweep there, but we'll talk about it after I was hot. Yeah, Rodney, I think that might be also what the public perception might be in this, as far as with the back to back and this moving line, these moving parts. Because I'm not going to worry too much about Batum being in there. Plus, Tatum's going to, you know, I like those that want to fade Tatum a little bit because you're probably going to be wrong in the end. You know, can he get the Hall of Fame? Maybe, maybe not. But right now, Tatum not only offensively but defensively, and I would think he'll have a huge game here. Actually, I think him and Brown, you know, probably huge games. Now, of course, I don't trust the Celtics backcourt right now against this. I think the six, you know, the backcourt might be a neutral. That's kind of the reason why I would kind of be scared of an over here is because of the production. I mean, yes, Maxi and Drew, but don't they play each other pretty hard, man, right? And they'll be going at it a little bit, I would think. Hmm. You know, this dry. I hope no one's making. You know, this dry air in Vegas has my lip cut. You guys don't make fun of me. But uh, well, all right. I'm gonna go with the Sixers here and take these points, even on the back to back. And I know Boston been doing a nice job, but when I see a rising line like that, I kind of thinking value, right? We often talk about that term and what is value. And if someone says value, I just immediately look at the line and see if you know if what their value is the same as mine. Now, if someone's just saying, "Hey, this is value," let me get a little. See if I have a little. Yeah, sorry guys. Probably turn off the thing for this, but got to put a little something on this thing here. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. That should be fine. Thank you. You guys embarrassing, but all right. When people say, "Oh, you know, value against their own line," that's fine. But I don't know your power ratings. I don't know your parameters. So when you say value, I'm like, is it value? Well, if I see a guy, you know, whether or not the line was 1.5, 2, or 2.5, and it's gone up all the way here to 5, everyone knows it was going to be a bet. We don't need to know the result unless, you know, there were things in the game that they're betting on. I don't see anything in the injury report necessarily. I mean, Oubri's been out for a few days now. We think we've known that. He's got some broken ribs. I think he'll be back pretty soon. So yeah, could there be an issue with Embiid here because of the back to back? Right. That's a very good thing to think about, Chad. That sometimes a little bit of information or guessing a little bit, right? People always say, "Oh, you know," and I'm not saying Chad doesn't, but making sure players. Part of the handicapper is to just try to determine if the player is going to play or not, and betting into a line that is speculative with that information. So, anyways, I'll take the Sixers here now at 5 here in this one. Daryl, nice to see you today. Celtics first half money line parlay at home with Boston College first half. Okay. If you're watching your teams, that makes it that much easier. Thank you, Daryl. All right, the Milwaukee Bucks on the road here taking on the Toronto Raptors. NBA action here for Wednesday night, and the Bucks are a 4.5 point favorite. The total here looks like it's gone up a point or so to 228 today. And which is interesting right now. I mentioned to you the widely reported steam from the line services in those first 3 games, but this one, the total is actually moved opposite of that widely reported steam. This one I show as low as, let me see, maybe two. Oops, where's my graphic? Maybe as low as 226.5, and has now gone up to 228, despite that widely reported steam that came in on the under here in this one. So sometimes that steam, however, is just the first major report, and is rarely updated. But here, I don't know. I mean, I kind of more so trust the move here. I think in this game. On the total, the move rather than the steam. The move is to the over, and you have a Milwaukee team that's gone over in 3 of 4 road games thus far. Toronto definitely kind of trending a little bit to the under, but Milwaukee has been the over team. And I will note that Toronto, 6 unders in 10 games, but 3-3 or split them in their 6 games as an underdog this season. They are a home dog here, obviously. And here, Daryl says, I like Toronto in this one, getting the points. I probably do. I probably do too, Daryl. You and me are clicking again, sir. For some reason, seems like we do. Perky, he's laying favorites. Perky, no, Perky better than a lot of the chat. Perky, I'm starting to categorize you as a favorites player. Not that that is a good or bad. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you hit the right plays. But I'm starting to see Perky, and not going to be critical of my man because this guy's one of my biggest supporters, and I really should be playing 50% favorites and 50% dogs if you're doing things right. He says people were talking up the Bulls against Milwaukee and the Bucks smashed them. Yeah, in Toronto, definitely, there are some issues here, but let's just remember this about the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 1-9 so far against the spread. They're the worst team in the league when it comes to making money. They might be 6-4, and if anything, people are pointing out that the Bucks they'll be fine, right? I mean, that's what. Remember, they got the big star. Solo says, "Let's go over." And yeah, we'll probably end up going over. But I'm going to take the Raptors here against the worst spread team in the league and try to take those points here. Perky might be switching up after the 1-9 against the spread, 0-4 on the road against the spread also here. But hey, I mean, streaks like that are ready to be broken. But I don't know right now. Toronto, I think, does have a little bit of life in this lineup here against this one. I guess I've already lost my. Buddy Ouija. But I appreciate everybody if you just stop by and comment on a game or two. That's good enough for me. Appreciate the several dozen of you in here right now joining me each day. I'm very thankful for you and for this opportunity. And Chad says, take a look. This backcourt can't stop anybody. He's talking about. I would imagine, talking about Lillard and well, I don't know. Lillard, he's tricky defensively, but Beasley certainly is not going to be scaring anybody, right? Is that what you mean there? Ziggy's going to lay it here. He's not afraid of the 1-9 against the spread right now. Chad says this is going to be a money line victory. Scotty Barnes, I would think, can have a strong performance here tonight in this one. And yeah, maybe I'm tending to lean to the over here. We'll see. There are some injury concerns with Toronto, right? But I think it's just bulk injuries. And should be noted right now, my injury report lists Giannis as a potential rest day here. So maybe when you see one like that, okay, and Toronto, their OG is doubtful. Gary Trent is doubtful here in this one as well. So Crowder out indefinitely right now, and Livingston will be out. But Giannis, he's listed as probable here in this one. But this could be his rest day. Thank you, Ouija. Thank you. Okay. And so what happens on some of these, right? Just take your position with Toronto and then get off of it, right? If there's some even speculation that it could be the rest day for the big star, it's not about them winning or losing. It's just about getting the best of the line. Because obviously, if he is out in a game like this line will move, to 2.5, to who knows, 1.5 even, and you'll be able to either work your middle or even take some points the other way, build yourself a little window of a middle, and play it that way, and you've beaten the line. So salty fly guy, they got to do it sometime, right? And you got to figure the Bucks know what's going on right now with their. But I think the talk about the Bucks and this start is that they might just not have that same depth, that same cohesiveness in this lineup currently. Could be a learning curve a little bit too with Lillard. The production's pretty much there, but he is going up against Schroeder tonight. So that's going to be a little bit sticky, certainly. So all right, but even Brook Lopez can score against Jakob Totempol. The Magic and the Bulls. The Bulls are 9-2 apparently. Let me fix that graphic. Hey, that's the first error on the graphics today. I've made it through 5 games so far. Wow. All right. Here's the Bulls favored in this one at home. Currently by 2. The total here is 216. There we go. In fact, I'll call it 217 right now in this one. We've seen a move to the over here on the widely reported steam. Every game has widely reported steam on the total so far today. But we'll see how that contrasts to the way I see it currently. And I'll tell you right now. All right, yeah, this one opened up. What do you guys have? Maybe Bulls. I've seen as high as 3.5 in this one. I saw the total open as low as maybe 214.5 here for the Magic currently. They are 7-3 against the spread so far this season. The Bulls are just 2-4 against the spread at home thus far. The Magic has been pretty pretty terrific, I'd say so far, considering their expectations. Yeah, we had the Nets last night. We gave out the Nets on the show, and I know a lot of people were kind of thinking that was going to be a good spot for the Magic, but can't underestimate what the Nets. We've been, pretty hot on the Nets, and yeah, well, there is going to be some spots I think to go against them. We took the Nets last night here on the show, but I think for me, you look at that total having moved higher. I don't know. I feel like that's the way it's going to go as well. I mean, what do you guys have anything on this one? Ziggy says, Magic here on the back to back following that game last night. I was in pocket on the total over, and that was a pretty good one. Ouija with says, yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't. One thing is, as much as I've loved Ouija's information, I'm not a fishy kind of guy as far as any trapeze or anything like that. My brother, maybe you've been here and seen the show and know that, but I don't mind the um, concepts of uh, being a bizarre line, right? But yeah, Orlando on the back to back, and he gives us the injury update. Man, this is going to be easy with Ouija if he's here every day like that. Because yeah, this is probably one of the most significant not injuries, right? Ouija, we got DeMar out for personal reasons here today. Caruso is going to miss as well. Markel Fultz is out for the Magic. And Gary Harris looks like he returns to the lineup tonight. In this game, I'd think Zach LaVine probably be my favorite player here to have a strong performance, and I'd go with Ben Caro on the Magic tonight. I got the down arrow on some of these guys tonight on the Bulls. We'll see, because I want to give him a chance here with the Magic on the back to back. Ziggy says he wants to go under here. And Chad says his Nets are killing it. And yeah, the Bulls, they're broken. We know it. And it's been rough to watch. And 4-7 straight up, 4-7 against the spreads thus far. But this, I don't know. I've tried to find some spots. Maybe I've been paying the price a little bit here, trying to, you know, think that the Bulls should be better than this. And maybe they're a little banged up. I don't know. With Fultz out of there, and Carter, don't forget he's has a hand injury, so that's going to put a guy like Batadze in there, right? A little bit. That's a little bit rough right now. I don't know if we're seeing enough from. What do you guys think of Batadze? Because obviously he's you know probably going to be able to produce, but. Um, We'll see. He can play a little D too against Booch. That's going to be important. That's for sure. All right, a couple more notes here. Magic has been a pretty strong under team so far this season. Talk about that. Totals move to the over. Orlando 3-6-1 to the under so far. And the Bulls, they've gone over in 4 of their 6 home games. Tyler here on the Magic going to take a little money line. So I'll take well, what will I take? What will we go here? Gosh, I don't know if I can get to the Bulls right now. I want to, but guess I'll just take the over. I'll play it safe. I like the over. I like this move. And give me the over in this one. I want to play the Bulls, you guys, but I don't see enough support from you guys. And I want to roll with my chat. But I don't, I'll go with any team, anytime. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm him. Who said I'm him the other day? I'm him. And they got a bunch of, everybody's loving that. All right. Here we go with the Timberwolves and the Suns tonight. Those Timberwolves, man. What can you say about this team right now? Is it real? Is it, a little bit of early season variance here? What do you expect long term from this team? Look, usually with defense, right? You just say it's real. You just say, hey, if you can play now, or are you just seeing some number? Maybe they're improved defensively, and they've been able to, kind of stand out a little bit because of shorter sample size and everything. Can you continue it? Usually, you can continue it at least to a certain extent. The defense is something where you know. Um, like kind of like the defense travels concept, maybe I don't know, but more so, the defense doesn't necessarily take nights off. How's that? Right? As long as the effort is there, you can still exude the same effort. The offense, not always that the case because you could be clicking and not make your shots or whatever. I guess you could not make the defensive play. So Chad here says he's high on the Wolves, but it's a horrible spot. He says because of that back to back, I guess, and the emotion of last night, and then having to get on the plane and going to Phoenix to play tonight. Off of a close victory. So, well, Jesus, he'll take the Suns here. It looks like. Mike is on the Suns here. And Ziggy says, whenever he got the birthday guy, apparently. And I don't expect any kind of ruling tonight from the NBA on that, as far as those suspensions are concerned. I imagine they could get handed down today, but I don't know. I think the thinking, while maybe it should, um, still pretty tough to, kind of shortchange a team, right? One on a back to back, and I don't know. There should almost be a rule against that, right? That maybe the next game you have to, if you're going to get suspended, you have to because it's not your fault that the schedule is it that you're a back to back, and would the league really say, well, we better not shortchange these guys because they're, you need all your players on a back to back or as many as you have, can get out there. Jalen Clark is questionable now for Phoenix. You got the 2 stars. You guys are already talking about it in the chat. Is Booker finally, or Booker going to play this game here? Beal probable as well. These guys have only been on the court together, what, twice this season? So Ziggy's going to take the Suns, he said. Solo says take the over. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. And this total, let me make sure I got this line right. It's now 6 and 224. Thank you, Kevin. That sounds great. I've not done the pepper mill, and I should get out more. I should get out more. I've only, I really, and this is the big weekend here, the big Formula One race, and even with these ticket prices dropping, I'll probably just watch it on TV. Funny, guys. I don't know if you know this. Actually, I'll talk about it here in just a second before we get to the last couple of games. Okay. Anyways, let me get my pick here. Looks like you guys are done here on this one. There's been plenty of action from the sharps here that has caught my attention this morning. But I don't know. I'm kind of siding with Solo here on the over. I know that steam came in on the under, but I'm kind of thinking over, and I think maybe this will be the. I just have. I'm not calling Phoenix like a Clippers type of team because I don't know. I like Beal. I like Booker. KD's the guy I think is the chemistry killer a little bit, but he certainly can be a great contributor. He's obviously did it with the Warriors in that role, this same role here in this one. It's just that the Wolves, what can you say? They've been absolutely terrific. They're 3-1 as an underdog also so far this season. Meanwhile, Phoenix just 1-4 against the spread at home. Now, granted, they didn't have these players, but as you guys say, it was baked into the line. For all the success Minnesota has had this season, talking about their great 6-3-1 spread record, they are 1-3-1 against the spread on the road. So give me the over here in this one with Minnesota and Phoenix. I will look to go over here. Phoenix has been going over big time. Now we'll see if the defense situation changes with, uh, you know, with Booker in there. I don't know how you guys perceive it, but if Booker and Beal, I think they're, you know, I think Beal's better than Book defensively. What do you guys say? Right? Am I right on that? So, anyways, want to talk about Phoenix. So they get these guys all back in the line. Remember, they've been going over big time. Now, I don't know if you guys probably could attribute that to the defense, to the fact that Phoenix is sub 500. They're just 1-4 straight up at home so far this season, but they are 4-1 to the over at home and 6-1 to the over as a favorite, the Phoenix Suns. And Minnesota's just been flatlining. They're half of them over, half of them under, pretty much. So give me the over in this one with Minnesota and Phoenix. Okay, so here you have the Kings and the Lakers, right? And now the obvious question becomes, because one of the certainly Davis and LeBron. No indication these guys at this point are taking any time off. But you're coming off the in-season tournament game, and now you're on a little back-to-backer here for the Lakers, and you're at home. So what it really would be now, it's a huge game, obviously, when you're playing the Kings right now for a team like the Lakers. In fact, like these teams aren't championship. The Kings aren't championship caliber either. But with both teams sporting, a little bit over 500 record, this is a pretty big game. While LeBron, needs rest, like I said, it looks like his minutes are down a little bit. That's great, Kevin. I love that. Thank you, Ziggy, also for that comment. I could agree with that. We'll see, though, how intense you can be out there. Anyways, let me get to the Kings here and the Lakers. The widely reported steam came in on the over in this one. Also, it came in on the Kings. So you start. That's where you start to wonder what is causing the sharps here to uh, come in on the Kings. I'm showing the Lakers actually a 1 point favorite now for the most part. So to me, that's kind of indicating that maybe we're going to feel, or the perception might be that the Stars will be in the game tonight. So let's move the Lakers to a 1 point favorite, and the total's gone up 2 points to 235.5. Seems legit to me as far as the total's concerned. I would think that more likely a higher scoring game uh, with Fox, clicking against D'Lo. D'Lo's going to have uh, a Torador's cape to let him go by, and vice versa. Fox will pick your pocket now and then, but he's not slowing anybody down. Even D'Lo can probably get something going here against this one. And Sabonis, so he could eat up Davis, right, guys? Don't I mean? I think, I think the only guy I don't know. If I when I look at the Lakers lineup here today, I don't know if there's many defensive options. Why did the line? There we go. There we go. Lakers -1, 235. Kings money line here for Solo. Lakers for Ziggy. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling this over, man. I feel like nobody's stopping tonight. Marco Sevilla is here today. Hello to Marco. What a pleasure to have you. It's always great to have a Sevilla here. Uh, I don't want to say. I don't want to say Ouija. I don't want to. I don't know Ouija. I'm just looking at your avatar. I don't want to. I'm not. This isn't a show about nationalities, heritage. But if I've got a Marco Sevilla and I've got a Ouija Torres in here, I'd love to draw the. I'd love to draw the Filipino crowd. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I don't want to say anything about any now, but they can gamble. They can sports bet. If you look at one group of people, man, can I? Is it fair to say that? Anyways, great information. Thank you again, Luigi and Marco. Thank you for your pick as well. All right, for me, I'm gonna go over in this one. I might give the Lakers a shot here to get this game. Ouija. Well, I've been around. Hey, I'm an old poker dealer, man. I've gambled with a great crew for many years, betting and booking and all that. Still do today. I'd love to see if my man Bobby's out there watching me right now. Not my boss Bobby, but my old boss Bobby. Um, my old pit boss, poker room boss. If you're out there, Bob, hello. Hope you're having a great day on the links. I'll take the over in this one with the Lakers and the Kings tonight. All right, Cavaliers here on the road. Going to be a big favorite against the Blazers. What's going on here? I'm showing this one even higher than that line in a few places. I'll leave it at 10, but maybe it's 10.5 here. Total 219 for the most part. There is some. Oh, no, I'll say, yeah, 219, 219.5, circles at 218.5. Widely reported steam here came in on the under. This one was higher, as high maybe as 221.5, I want to say. Maybe as high as 222 with the uh, Cavaliers here on the road. And I don't know, with Cleveland starting to exude play their defensive brand here for a little bit. This one's definitely headed under. There's a little doubt about that. And there has been some buyback here on Cleveland, but see what you guys are talking about in this game. Ouija's got Cleveland here. Yeah, that's just it. They're getting that defense going. They're getting everybody healthy, playing more cohesive together. It's funny because we think about, and you mentioned, of course, Garland out, Karis LeVert. Ziggy says he'll lay it here with the Cavaliers today. Uh, Cavaliers have struggled certainly against the numbers so far, but they've also struggled getting their players kind of healthy on the court. And uh, Levert should be fine. The thing about Cleveland, man, this defense, yeah, you do want a guy like Garland in there. Levert should be able to not lock it down a little bit. Garland would be the man, though, right? But still, the rest of the group too. I mean, my man Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and the Struess in the front court. Those guys are a good defensive team. Cleveland should, I would think, start to find a way to turn it around. I mean, look, Portland. We know they're young. Okay, uh, I've got issues with Aiton defensively, certainly. So Jared Allen's not a huge scoring threat, but I would think Allen would have even the offensive advantage there. And Daryl, thank you for your total. So I'm going to end up probably just tailing this total, probably just tailing the steam here again in this one, and end up with the under here with the Cavaliers and the Trailblazers. Man, did I just give out a lot of totals on the show? There was also widely reported steam that came in on the Trailblazers. Oh no, that was incorrect. I wrote it down wrong earlier. There was steam that came in, ironically, on the Portland Pilots, and the line in that game was 9.5. Except I think Portland was actually favored by 9.5 over Tennessee State, and I just wrote it down wrong. They were both Portland's, and it was 9.5. But the thing here for Portland, so like I said, Cavaliers, I appreciate you guys going with the Cavaliers right now, laying this big number against a weak Portland team. But note, Cavaliers, yes, getting players back, getting better, getting healthy. They need wins. They're still just 4-6, and Portland is 3-7. The Cavaliers are 1-4 as a favorite so far this season, while Portland, they've been, just mediocre against the spread, but certainly better than Cleveland against the spread. Portland 5-5 against the number. They've been an underdog in every game so far this season. This is just their fourth home game, however, of the 11 games that they will have played this season, and they are 1-2 here. Hello to Panger. Hi, Panger. 1-2 against the spread at home. So. All right, I'll take the under. Thanks. That's a look at NBA. We got to keep this moving. Let's head on over the ice with the Flyers and Hurricanes. Start us off here in this one, and I've got Hurricanes, a huge favorite here, 270, total 6.5. And I'm showing this one have definitely gone down to 6/20. Oh, no, it is 6/20. I don't know. Oh, but one square offshore book did open here at 6.5, but even they've moved down now to 6/20 with the Flyers and the Hurricanes. And for Philadelphia on the road this season. They've been, pretty okay. 4 wins, and they're on a 2-game winning streak right now. As for Carolina, they've been pretty solid at home, I'd say 4-0 so far for the Canes. These are the spots with the Flyers that end up kind of showing up, right? I don't want the Flyers when they're perceived to have a chance in a game. It seems like half the time. I don't know if I can get on them here on the show with you guys, or if you guys have a pick, or if anybody in their right mind can consider the Flyers here with Connor Hart, mind you. But what do I have? Oh, I have Kashetkov in there, right? But I think it's going to be Antti Ranta. I'm going to update it to Ranta. What do you guys have? Because the goalies, I'm getting mixed vibes. I'm getting mixed signals from the goalie information here with Kashetkov or Ranta. And I don't know, the line would seem to indicate Ranta, but I don't know if there's that much of a difference here. Thanks, Ouija. Appreciate you. I know you'd probably just be around for the basketball. It's fine. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Please, please, please come again. All right. Ziggy says go under 6 here. Jerry says give me the Flyers on the puck line. And Daryl says he likes the Hurricanes money line and possibly the over. Yeah, I mean, look, Philadelphia, pretty strong. Uh, I would say, I guess, here when you look at it with this big line, but up top world. I'm sorry, Carolina, pretty strong here with this big line as a big favorite. Just feels like these are the spots where I wanna take the Flyers. I don't want them in some game where they're a favorite or they're in a rivalry game and the line is close, like they think the Flyers are going to compete. I almost want the Flyers when they're not expected to compete. And I'm going to probably end up trying them here today on the puck line because that is my overall general philosophy of the way this team handles themselves year after year right now. Shout out to one of my old pals that, always talking Flyers hockey. And, I told him all these. Hey, Donald Hooks is here. Hello, Donald. Thank you. And okay. You know what, Donald, I actually have you been with me before on the show? If not, hello, thank you, pleasure to meet you or see you. I want to say maybe you've commented before. And for me, I feel the same exact way right now. I think this one ends up being a situation where it goes, Flyers get that puck line with an over. So there's been some steam that came in on the, there's been two-way steam. I won't say it like that. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you. I'm still going to do some college basketball if anybody wants to stick around, basketball fans, but maybe I should sandwich the basketball together. But all right, give me the Flyers here plus a goal and a half. I'm not, look, the Flyers have been, better for me anyway. And I'm often critical of the Flyers. The perception here, I think, is going to be a little bit of defense, but I don't see it that way. And if I'm going to be able to get this juiced up 6, maybe it'll go. Maybe it's going to even go a little bit higher. I don't know, but if I can get this, just play this juiced up 6 right now, I would probably do that. But for me, I will take the Flyers on the show here. Puck line, against the Hurricanes. Look, the Hurricanes have been tough at home. They've been great at home, no doubt. And Hurricanes, they're you know it's not a matter of them being back. Remember, they're for their 4-0 record, they are 9-6. But also note against the puck line so far this season. This is why. Thank you, Donald. Thank you. And yeah, and here's the other thing about it, right, Donald, is Carolina, good team, got them ranked pretty high, certainly still. They're in the division. Maybe I don't have them ranked properly here. That Metro could, other than Boston, well, I don't know. There's kind of a jumble there a little bit in the top middle, but Carolina right now 4-9 as a puck line favorite. Meanwhile, Philadelphia. They're a dog quite a bit so far, which is kind of impressive with their 500 record and the fact that they are 9-3 as a puck line underdog. And you're talking about a line here today, Philadelphia plus 1.5, maybe at minus 120. Yeah. Do they often lay a much bigger chalky price as part of that 9-3 record? Yeah, I think so. But nonetheless, I will try the Flyers. Puck line. But, certainly can. I'm always sprinkling, always firing, guys. Right? All right, we got the Kraken and the Oilers here in this one, and well, who said it? We just had a comment here a second ago, Mike. It was he said, "Do you think the Oilers can rebound?" Thanks, you guys. Sorry about that. Do you think the Oilers can rebound here in this one? Well, you know what? I took the Oilers last time, and hey, I can be as count. I'm Count Chocula. I can be as chalky as the next guy. Am I going to mix in some crazy dogs? Of course I am. That's why I'm, on the show. You take some chances, right? Never get on one of these shows, you guys, and get on there and pass. Okay, you only get one chance. You're on the screen. Just make a pick. All right. I'm picking every game just because, hey, every game has a winner. Seattle and Edmonton here. We've seen some steam come in, certainly on the over here. I haven't really seen any serious, um, you know, true line changing the steam, in my opinion, here. But so you mentioned though, Mike, about do you think the Oilers can rebound? And I'm assuming you mean this season because they obviously rebounded here with two straight wins, including a win over the Seattle team, 2 games ago in Seattle, 4-1. Then they came back with a win against the Isles at home, and I do think they will rebound from this start. I mean, how can they not? Uh, Are their prospects long term the same as last year or better? Maybe not. Maybe not. And although it feels extremely uncomfortable to lay the big price again, and I'm a market handicapper for the most part, where I often will just, you know, kind of put talent or expectation, prognostication, projection number aside just to take a price because this is professional sports after all. But here, I just laid the Oilers last game a big price. Uncomfortable, right? Considering that they were 3-9 at the time before that Islanders game. They were like $1.75 or $1.80 in that game. And I chose to lay it. And I'm going to do it again here today. Uh, I don't care about but, take a stand. I laugh sometimes at those guys that come in there and say, "Oh, well, that's easy. Just go on there and pick a $2 favorite." Well, you better take a $2 favorite at half the time and then take the dog half the time. This time I'll take the Oilers here in this one. I'm not sure I'm ready to pile on with this over just yet, but um, There is concerns about the Kraken here moving forward. I think, yeah, they've gotten up to 5-8 now. They have won 3 games on the road, which is interesting. They might be trying to get it back together a little bit. Hey, DD is here today. Nice to have you, DD. What a pleasure. And Mike says he's got a high scoring game here with the Oilers winning this one. And that's like I said, that steam coming in. Maybe I do favor it just a little bit, favoring the over here, but just not sure. I mean, Seattle's been pretty solid under of late. Um, Edmonton doesn't really have a lot of trends one way or the other as far as their this season. Salty, thank you for your prop today, and that's been one of the McDavid and trading. I just don't see any reason to panic if you're the Edmonton Oilers. It took, look how long it took the Oilers to trade Wayne Gretzky. Now, granted, they had won 4 Stanley Cups by that time, but this is a franchise. There's just no way. There's just no way. And even the I mean, unless there's just, I don't know, maybe Edmonton and, hey, I was hanging out with a big time Edmonton fan last night. Should have chatted, should have talked him up and got the feel about, what the, but I don't know. There could have been panic or whatever, and it's going to be hard to repair this little bit of a slow start here. They're still 4-9, but all right, give me the oil here in this one. Okay, it's those Anaheim Ducks on the road. What is this? 290? Wait a minute, this isn't last year's Anaheim Ducks. What's going on here now? I think that we'll see about the goalie situation. It might not be Gibby here. It could be Dostal, and in fact, let me update the sites here. In fact, I might starting to see it be Dostal here in this one, and that would affect the line a little bit. I think it would make it go up a little bit over Gibson. Neither goalie confirmed, but uh, who wants to believe that the Avalanche and the Ducks? Okay, we talk about the way some of these teams have performed so far this season. A little bit. I'm just gonna. Okay, no, I was gonna break and get some news in here, but let's just wait one moment and talk about this game with Anaheim. So huge favorite here for the Anaheim. Um, doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense because Anaheim has played just terrific. Now, yes, Colorado is all that, but these teams have almost the same exact record right now, don't they? Anaheim 9-6, Colorado 9-5. You can say maybe that the Ducks have been a fluke thus far. Doesn't feel like it. I mean, it feels like they've done a pretty nice job. They've won 8 of their last 10 games as well, and they're obviously just destroying on the puck line. They're 6-1 to the puck line on the road this season, but give Colorado credit. I mean, they're often favored, and they've been covering puck lines, which is amazing considering that they're often laying it. Nothing too distinct on the total here with this one, but we have seen some general steam come in on the over in this one, and I would think that should be the case. This one did open at 6.5 over 20, 6.5 over. No, I'm sorry, 6.5, or even 6.5 under 15, and that's where it is right now for the most part. So I would think there'd be big goals. Anaheim's offense seems dramatically improved, and even though Gurdjieff, puck line here. Yeah, Josh, you're not asking that every day though. It seems like did you ask that already too? I don't want to. Maybe just missed the answer though too. I don't want to. Okay, Avalanche here. minus a puck and a half. Mike's on the Avs. And Salty's, yeah, there has been a bit, yeah, a decline, and maybe the you know strong play that Gurdjieff had last season was overachieving too a little bit. It was terrific. I mean, don't get me wrong, awesome, but just I just have to consider the Ducks here on this puck line at like I said, impressive that Colorado has a puck line record that they do because not a lot of those teams that end up laying the puck line will cover them in the long run. But at uh, plus 1.5 here for the Ducks at even money or so, or even better, I'll take the Ducks again. I think we've done pretty well with the Ducks so far this season, and on the road, they certainly have been the best. The best. I think they're the best as far as on the road this season. They are the Seattle Kraken of last year. Anaheim so far this season on the road is up nearly 7 units. The Kings are up 6.5 units. So those two teams kind of head and shoulders. Other teams, performing well on the road this season in terms of units profit would be the Blackhawks, the Stars, the Caps. That's pretty much it. Those teams might be 3.5 to 4 units or more profit on the road. So I'll take the Ducks in this one, but and don't I would think goals are I would think we get just 7 or more here. Got the Islanders going up against the got the Islanders going up against the Canucks here, and apparently there's no line according to the man who makes the graphics, but I know better than that. I'm showing the Canucks here $1.55, and there is some discrepancy in this total. Canucks minus 155. I'm showing mostly 6 over 20, although one very square book offshore has it at 6.5 under. But maybe we can stick with 6 over 20 with the Islanders and the Canucks. What can you say about this Islanders road trip right now? It's just been, spiraling a little bit out of control here. Well, I won't say road trip. I'm just not road trip. I'm just their streak in general. That's I guess that'd be more appropriate right now. It's just been a disaster here. The Islanders can't get a win currently, and when is the next one going to come? Here you are playing one of the hottest teams in the league. Um, you know, all the way out there on the West Coast. So Jerry says go under here in this game, and cannot disagree with Jerry. In fact, I better make the right line on there, right? Look at me, I'm trying to. Oh no, 6 over 20. That's fine, right? Yeah, I think that's the direction I would go. So far, the Islanders are 1-4 to the under on the road this season. And Vancouver, man, these numbers are impressive, no doubt. 11-3 right now, 5-0 at home so far this season, and been pretty terrific. They're 8-1-1 over their last 10 games, and they've just been awesome. And they're covering puck lines too, like nobody's business. And the Islanders are not. The Islanders are 4-10 on the puck line so far this season. Vancouver is 13-2 on the puck line. And it is a nice return on the puck line today. So I'm gonna, probably try to consider getting on Vancouver here in this one. But I also, don't mind that under at all. Yeah, do I wish it was 6.5 at most? Can I get? And I sure I can get it and juice it here, but I would think the Canucks can win this one and keep it going. So let's go ahead and take them here against the struggling Isles. I'll just take Vancouver to win this one. And that's a look at hockey today. Thank you. All right, I'm going to try to look at some college basketball here today before we get into the college football. Two couple of MAC games. I don't even know if I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I've got some college basketball to look at with some undefeated teams here with Princeton and Duquesne. Probably just go over the picks here a little bit. It's getting late in the show. And I want to say hello to Cindy. Always great to have you back here again. All right. Let's roll into the college hoop here with Princeton and Duquesne. This one open as low as maybe 4.5 here. I'm showing Duquesne now as a 6-point favorite. Total mostly around 146.5, maybe even higher. Showing some 147.5 here now with Princeton and Duquesne. And the move is on the Dukes. All right. And man, this seems pretty juicy when you get a shot with Princeton here on the road. Getting some points, doesn't it? Let's take a look so far. Get organized here for. I only have 4 or 5 games. Again, this is your moment. We probably should go over the. Here's Perky says take Princeton, easy moolah. Just take that. When you're getting Princeton in the points, why not every time, right? Look, it's a little bit more. I think it's supposed to be a little bit more difficult than that. Do people just, forget Princeton is Princeton? Now Duquesne has won a couple of games so far, 3 as a matter. They're 3-0. They beat Cleveland State. They beat Charleston. They beat Stony Brook. Good start here for the Dukes at 3-0. But Princeton is 2-0 so far. Princeton with wins over Rutgers. They beat Hofstra as well. And Princeton's covered both of their games. Duquesne actually failed in one of their games. And not only Princeton, you think, well, now they're on the road. They've already both their games. They were underdogs in those games against Rutgers and Hofstra. So I mean, I could see it against Rutgers. Remember that was that neutral site game. And then they played Hofstra on the road, beat them by 7. So, yeah, why not? I mean, you could do worse, I would think, than take Princeton here. I don't know, Perky. I mean, I do like Princeton, but I wouldn't know. I don't know if necessarily might put them different levels. The Richmond Spiders are going to take on the Boston College Eagles. College basketball action here on Wednesday. And a couple more unbeatens here. Both teams coming in 2-0 so far for the Spiders. Getting the points here from Boston College. Oops. Sorry, guys. One moment. There we go. All right. Yeah, this one opened maybe as low as 4.5. Currently showing 5.5s here right now, and the total. In fact, I'm showing mostly 5s right now, and the total 141.5. Let's go ahead and knock off that hook. and call it 5 with Richmond and Boston College. Okay, back on track here, I think, a little bit. For the Eagles, so far, a couple of wins. They beat Fairfield by 19. They beat Citadel by 4 for their 2-0 start. For the Spiders, they beat VMI by 18. They walloped Siena by 32 points in their second contest. And Richmond covered in both of their games. However, Boston College did fail to cover the spread in their one game. BC has gone over in both games so far. And yeah, for me, probably just end up being on Richmond here plus the points, plus 5 ish. Yeah, I think that seems pretty fair. Well, let me see about. I want to see if I. This is a good point. I don't want to forget popping in that Steam, and if this, I think this game might have taken some. Uh, yeah, this one, the Steam came in on Boston College minus 4.5 and under 145. Let's go ahead and let me see if I can't bring in that Steam here and try to show it. I've made a copy of it. There've been a few moves, but maybe I can show it on the screen here. Uh, might not be as attractive as I'd like it, but we'll figure out another way maybe to look at it in the future. But I'll bring it up here and see how it looks. And hopefully you guys can get those. These are the widely reported Steam moves in college basketball. Let me see if I can remove the. I guess I could shrink it, but I don't want to shrink it too much so you can't read it. There we go. Maybe that's best. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of that if you want. These are the widely reported Steam moves according to Don Best today. So you will not get these lines for the most part. These lines have moved in coordinated moves, either from large syndicates, from sharp betters. Could be injury related as well, but these are the ones that happened prior to about 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. So you can go through those, and maybe I'll try to recite them every time. But these are the moves. Give you just another second there to check those out and get your screenshots in or write down what you need to. You can always rewind it here, certainly, as well. And I have it there kind of in it. Just that's what works for me as far as the order. I hope that's okay. It's actually reverse. It's actually reverse, just to show you how my mind works. I actually am viewing it in reverse rotation order. So, but hopefully that works for you. And we'll try this again next time, next show as well, and maybe on Saturday too, where it's so important. Sure, Cindy. Hopefully, I think that's an important, and I'll pop it in the Discord too, so that you guys can have it referenced. I did it yesterday. Okay. All right. There we go for that one. Anyways, did I make the call here on the Richmond Spiders? Let's take them. All right. Cornell is going to be at George Mason. I'm just singled this one out due to the undefeated status of these two teams as well. Cornell coming in 3-0 in this one, and Mason comes in with a 2-0 mark. Good job, Cornell. All right, let's see here. Cornell with wins so far over Lehigh. They beat Morrisville State by 21 points. They also beat Fordham for their 3-0 start so far. For Mason, they beat Monmouth by 11 and they beat P by 22. And see here, there was widely reported steam on that list at 147.5. And now we're looking at as high as 149, maybe even 149 and a half with Mason, a 2 to 2.5 point favorite. Seems like mostly twos, although I do see a 2.5 out there. See some 2.5s out there. Hi, Londo. Nice to have you. I have best bets for the day. They are over at Tony'sPicks.com, and they are behind a paywall. But those are my best bets over at Tony'sPicks.com. Good to see you, Londo. Thanks for the setup on the plug. Always good to have you, brother. All right, let's get a call here with Cornell and Mason. Mason 2.5. Like I said, the move is on Cornell, and the move is definitely on the over as far as the line movement right now, but more so on the over. But the Cornell as well is taking the move here. Uh, was as high as 3, and if now we're seeing down to 2, and I like the move. I want to play Cornell here. I have a pretty. I look. This total just keeps going up, and um, I have a feeling that might be legit. We're seeing some wild uh, dichotomy with high scores and low scores in college basketball, aren't we? Isn't it amazing that college basketball's like that? You don't necessarily see it in the NBA as big, I don't think. All right, Cornell for me. I'll probably take them on the money line as well. Like what they're doing. I like this spot for Cornell, and I would think it's going to be probably pretty pretty high score. That 149 and a half. I don't know. It might go up even further. I kind of want to go premium, and I'm saving it for a premium in case I'm going to have a handful of premiums here. I'm not going to stop firing on college basketball. That is my best sport, despite a mediocre start to the season so far. But over at Tony's Picks, since we've been on the site, I've been a big winner here, up 40 units or more on the site. You can check out the Handicapper leaderboards and see, but since this calendar year. All right. Anyways, I'll take Cornell. Maybe I'll take him on the money line. This one's going to be a high scoring game. Can I still go over? I might. I still might go over. I've got Georgetown going against Rutgers here. Rutgers is up to, oh man, 9.5 or 10 point favorite so far. Rutgers 2-1 on the season. This total has dropped a point and a half or so to 134. This is game number 699, 700. We did see widely reported steam come in on the under in the game. So that might obviously account for this move, which I'm showing circa at 133.5. And I show it opening as high as 137 at one offshore joint. So pretty significant move to the under here in the game between Georgetown and Rutgers. System play. And I would say for me here, man, the spread is getting out of control. But and look, I'm all about Georgetown moving forward. I think they will be back here. With our man, on the bench nowadays. That's who we want. Is uh, one of our favorite betting coaches, Easy Ed, on the bench. But I don't know. This might be a spot that Easy Ed might be a little bit overmatched here. So far, Georgetown, they had pretty weak schedule. They beat Lemoyne. Lemoyne as a new entry into Division One, but then Georgetown lost to Holy Cross. And those are bottom, those are teams ranked in the 320s and higher. So not great right now. I think Cooley will totally bounce back to the Hoyas and will get them certainly to the status of the other teams that he has coached in the past in their conference. And with Georgetown, we know the sky's the limit. They could return to some type of medium glory with Ed Cooley, I would think. And I think this is a great situation for Georgetown, putting the, Patrick Ewing era a little bit behind them. So Rutgers so far, they lost to Princeton, but they beat BU and they beat BU again. Well, they beat Boston U and they beat Bryant. So 2-1 start. They've won two straight here right now. And for me, either way, I like Rutgers, and I don't know. This total keeps dipping, and is it really going to be a defensive game here? Or a game that doesn't get to 140 points today? Georgetown, look, they'll get to playing defense, but I'm not sure right now if they have the personnel to play enough defense against Rutgers. This one's on Fox Sports 1, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific here. I don't expect the Hoyas to bounce back off that loss to Holy Cross, and I will take Rutgers to roll here. Rutgers so far just 1-2 against the spread in that 2-1 start. So we'll mention Rutgers also 0-3 to the under thus far. Maybe that's what people are seeing with these Rutgers scores, all three games going under. But I don't think it's Georgetown going to be an under, you guys. I'll take Rutgers uh, to roll to Rutgers to roll here, and you know what? I will give out the under. I mean, sorry, I will give out the over right now. Let's double play tonight. Rutgers and over double play here on the show. All right, I'll do one more here, Pacific and Nevada. And Tigers on the road taking on the Wolfpack. Current line in this one, we got Nevada 13. Total down to 149 here. Okay, a little bit of move here on this total under. We'll update that and take a look at these two teams so far and what's been going on with their seasons. Early on, just have the, just a few data points, obviously. The Wolfpack so far with wins over Sacramento State. They beat the Huskies, of course, 83-76 in that last game. For the Tigers, they come in with a win over Cal. They did lose their season opener to Sam. So this one will be 7 Eastern or 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and this one will be on the computer for the most part, or the Mountain Network. You can, I believe, on the Mountain Network is pretty. They're pretty good as far as you could put it on your the streaming on their website. Looks just fine on TV. So I know I was going to try to uh, focus mostly on the bigger TV games, but kind of a limited schedule of interesting matchups here tonight. You have Nevada so far 2-0 against the spread. Pacific did cover their only road game so far. Nevada also 2-0 to the over, and Pacific went over in their only road game so far this season. So I think for me, you see this total is certainly pretty high, but Man, it just feels like it could be a high scoring game, and I think that's where I would go. I think it will be over 150 points tonight with Pacific and Nevada, and that's where I'm going to go in this one. You look at you look at what's been going on so far for these two teams. You got Nevada; they scored in that Washington game 159 points at Washington. So I would think against Pacific, they scored 7. They scored 83 against Washington on the road, and Pacific in their game against Cal that featured 166 points. So let's go over here with Pacific and Cal. Take it over 150 tonight. That's a look at college basketball, but it's your turn now. If you have any suggestions, I am ready to make a pick. If you guys have any other games you were looking at, although I will admit that in yesterday's game requests, I don't think we did that well. So just those numbers. All right, looks like you guys are done with college basketball. I'm going to move on to the MAC, where I was the new reverse sweep Ramon. After that, after talking all that trash about the winning streak. Let's get to this one here with Buffalo and Miami. Maction. We've got the Maction here tonight. Buffalo and Miami. It was pretty good action last night in the Maction. With those finals, but Akron and Eastern Michigan, exciting to finish, but we tried to lay the points there and got caught. Toledo and Bowling Green, that one ended up going through the roof, and well, Western Michigan didn't show up against Northern Illinois. So let's see what happens tonight with Buffalo and Miami. Miami here, 8.5. I'm showing DraftKings have moved to 8 actually, so maybe there's a little bit of movement here on the Bulls. Buffalo comes in just 3-7 so far this season. They are 3-3 in conference, and for Miami, they're 8-2, 5-0 in conference. They've covered 7 of their last 8 games. The Red Hawks are a strong defensive team. I think that we can safely say that. That's where their strengths lie. They're not an overwhelming offensive team, but let's just see anything good here. The home team has won 6 straight meetings between these two, and Buffalo 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 visits here into Miami of Ohio. And the series has gone over in 7 of the last 10 games for Buffalo. Not a great roll for them here. Buffalo 6-12 against the spread, coming in off of a loss. 8-13-1 against the spread in conference. But note, Buffalo 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games as a road underdog, including 3-1 so far this season. So there are positives there, for Buffalo in this situation. And, obviously getting kind of a bushel full here. Total 39, 39.5. So, it has me thinking that the Bulls, can compete here, as a dog. That's what it feels like. I would think the number, it should be a low scoring game, and if so, maybe Buffalo can get there. You look at the, spread the way it is. You got to figure this final score is going to be what, 24-17. That's an over, and that gets the dog home. So I don't know if I trust the over here. I just want to trust Buffalo. I mean, I'm leaning under, to be honest with you, but let's just take the points here. Let's be sure. Let's take Buffalo as our play tonight and get a win off of that day yesterday. What happened? We were so hot in the action. Oh, the MAC. We're as inconsistent as the MAC. Central Michigan takes on Miami of Ohio. College football action here. Maction for Wednesday night with the Chips on the road against the Bobcats. The Bobcats have been as low as a 9-point favorite, but now I'm showing them here as an 11-point favorite. In this one, the total is all the way up here this morning to 47.5. So we've seen a 1-point move on the total over. And for these teams, for Central Michigan, they come in 5-5, 3-3 in conference. Ohio is 7-3, and 4-2 in the MAC so far this season. For Central Michigan, under Coach McElwain, this is always a pretty great role for him. 11-6 against the spread as a road underdog with Central Michigan since McElwain has come in here. Meanwhile, Ohio is just 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games as a home favorite. And here you are laying double digits to the Chips. Ohio 7-3, already in to a bowl, and Central Michigan with an upset could become bowl eligible. Right now, Ohio, let's see here. Just a peek at the division standings because we know Miami of Ohio. I mean, like I said, they could lose, but they are in charge there in the East. And like I said, they are 8.5-point favorites. I mean, that'll make them 6-1. So that would probably get them home. Here they have a 1-game lead over Ohio currently. So Ohio needs this win to keep pace, but Miami will be on the field at the same time. So I don't know if that factors into anything there as far as that East title is concerned. Miami, Ohio just wants to make sure they win. So I don't know. I don't like necessarily playing that way if you're that team. And ooh, this one's tough. Do you guys even interested in this game at all? Doesn't look like it. Nothing in the chat. Oh no. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna have to take the Chips here in this one, given their record as a home underdog. Chips have won 6 in a row in the series, and 10 of the last 11 meetings they've owned Ohio. Really, it's just that Ohio's having a great season, certainly right now. And usually, sometimes the Chippewas are favored in this game, and they don't even cover the spread. But the game has gone 4-1 to the under in the last 6 meetings, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this one's going as far as the total is concerned. Give me the Chips today plus 11. And that's a look at college football here on the show for Tuesday. All right, appreciate you guys. I'm going to go over a few more games right now in college football for Saturday. If you want to stick around for a few more minutes, just going to give a few picks. I think I've only got 3 games lined up, and we'll crank them out on Friday with the late afternoon games. But these are going to be kind of mid-afternoon games right now, so appreciate you guys very much. Let me see if I had a little bit more information, other late Steam plays that came in before you guys take off here in college basketball. Cleveland State came in while we were on the air here at -9 as a Steam move. Also, the Philadelphia Flyers ironically got steamed, and we talked about how we were going to take the Flyers here today on the puck line. And there was one other. The Orlando Magic also took some steam. Um, Also, one other interesting steam play that came in while we were on the air here talking was Atlanta. And to me, that might indicate that we know more about the status of Trey Young. I don't think any official information was released regarding Young, still is questionable, but the fact that Steam did come in there, to me, may indicate that Young will make himself available for this game. Also, one injury report that came in while we were going, and it is kind of critical, especially we talked about the game today with the Celtics and the Sixers, and Jalen Brown has been reported to have an illness here, and he's going to be questionable. Brown, of course, 23 points per game scorer that has affected the line since we were on the NBA preview. uh, Boston was a 5 point favorite, and they're pretty much down to a 4 point favorite now, based on that news that Brown with an illness is questionable here in the game. So, all right, I think that's enough for the uh, late news. You guys can permission to leave if you want to stick around. I'm going to just talk about a few college football games here for Saturday. And we've got some good ones on Saturday, including this one, the sleeper day game of the day here with Appalachian State and undefeated James Madison. Oh man, James Madison's going to need a court injunction to try to get into the New Year's Day bowls here or get into the postseason with their 10-0 record thus far. So let's see what Madison can do here, laying 9. It was as high as, let's see here, 11, I think, or 11 and a half. This is game number 319, 320. But boy, Appalachian State, they've been, if anything, kind of the sleeper. It feels right. They are just 6-4 straight up, but uh, they've been pretty solid, man. And of course, everyone, knows about Madison and what's been going on with them. They like to try to appeal to try to get. Remember, they just joined Division One recently, so for Madison, they're not able really to capitalize on this really awesome season. Seems like there's got to be a letdown coming a little bit, and this Appalachian State team is really good. Um, this was going to be a premium, I think, but I think it just might be a hard sell, uh, you know, to uh, to folks because of Madison's awesome record so far this season. But Appalachian State has been pretty terrific so far. Now, like I said, just a 6-4 record, but I have a feeling they can compete in this game and stay within a touchdown of Madison. So for so far this season for Appalachian State, uh, they are 2-0-1 as an underdog so far this season. Madison's gotten a lot of their numbers. There's no doubt about that. But at 10 points or so, well, even if it's 9, I'll grade it 8.5. I'm sure I can still get 9, but I feel like, oh man, I'm just totally mistaken. This thing was as high as 12.5. So big move to Appalachian State. Maybe it's fair that I give it out on the show as a free pick. Maybe the values totally left the building here. Josh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, taking those big favorites and those parlays, man. Oh, boy. What a pain that was one. All right, let's get rolling here with Cincinnati and West Virginia. Well, look, Cincinnati's been a little bit rough this year for Cincinnati, no doubt. too bad here. Uh, they've kind of slipped up, but uh, West Virginia, I'd say things are going okay for sure at this point for the Mountaineers. This is game number 325, 326. And this total now currently um, 6.5, 54.5. Let's see. Yeah, currently showing, yeah, 6.5, maybe down to 54 at some spots, but I'm showing a 55 out there as well. All right. This one's a little tougher for me here. have a premium, I'm pretty sure, in this game. So, considering maybe just dealing it here right now with you guys, um, having seen the fact that the line has really been moving in the direction that that I thought I thought we might see a little bit of movement here on West Virginia, but I don't know. Maybe that some people still have some faith, like I do, that Cincinnati maybe can get this number, but hasn't been great. I mean, West Virginia is 4-1 against the spread, and they're still laying under that 7. Man, I feels pretty comfortable to a certain extent that they can get it. They're getting numbers at home currently, and if we can lay under that touchdown, guess I would probably do it. It just seems so square. I mean, public tickets are running like 4-5 on 4-1 on West Virginia, but um, I really thought this line would be, would get to maybe even a double digit, like a 10-point spread. So um, maybe I just didn't have a good feel or a good handle on the game. So I better take West Virginia and lay the 6.5 points and figure that uh, maybe Cincinnati sharp. That one I'm just not sure. Mike says he likes Cincinnati. Okay, now he says that. Good job, Mike. And talking about tonight's action, I think, sir, if I'm not mistaken, right? So duly noted. And I got one more, and then Friday we'll get into the late afternoon card. But I've got here Utah and Arizona featured matchup here. Both teams 7-3, tight spread here. There is injury information, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what that injury report says. Okay. For Arizona, Jacob Cowing is probable for the game. That's what I was most interested in here. Certainly, my man Martell Irby, the defensive back for Arizona, my man out of Morse High School. He is quite probable for the game. Jacob Cowing, as I said, probable as well. He's an impact player. I mean, he has 10 touchdowns so far this season as one of Fafita's top targets. A little bit of news here for Utah. Um, well, nothing too new, actually, right? Yeah, I don't have any new information. New information for Utah, so just that. Just that. Okay. All right. That total looks a little high to me, considering right now what Utah's defense can do. I mean, Fafita's been pretty awesome. There's no doubt about it. But man, it just seems like I want to kind of play them at home. And can they operate defensively here? I mean, remember, for Utah has a great defense, but they don't really have that many. They've gone under in 4 of their 10 games. It's Arizona that's been playing out of their mind as far as uh, the under is concerned. Talk about all the success they've had with Fafita and his development as a quarterback. But Arizona is 2-8 to the under so far this season, and 0-5 to the under at home. So That's where we're going to go. I mean, Utah, Arizona, and we're dealing a game here in the mid 40s. That's good enough for me. I'll take the under with the Utes and the Wildcats today on Saturday. System play. All right, that's going to do it for me here on the Morning Steam for Wednesday. Appreciate you joining me. We'll catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com, pick up our premium picks from our cappers today. Click on the All Cappers tab. There you'll find all the handicappers, including Daniel Wolosachuk, having taken up residency at the top of the All Cappers board with his 17-1-1 run over the last 10 days. So great. I think it's even bigger than that. So great job. What you do is you go over to the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on their handicapper profile page, and that's where you'll get signed up. For me right now on a Wednesday would be a great day to pick up my 3-day pass. That'll get you through to the weekend, and pick it up early in the afternoon. You'll get my early college football for Saturday as well. So you get 3.5 days worth if you grab the 3-day package after 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. Get that 3-day all sports pass for $99 and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. These are my best plays every day. You're going to get to me from me today. Oh, I would say 7-ish would be what I have here currently. But that, right around there, 5, 7, maybe 9 plays today. So pick up my 3-day all sports pass. Hey, if you're doing great with the free picks, just come by and visit me every day. I'd love that, and that'll if that's working for you and what you're doing is just fine. But if you need a little bit of help, maybe a few extra suggestions in your pocket, you can hit me up over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, it's going to do it. Morning Steam. Check you back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, and 6 Pacific. And I had the wrong day on there the whole time. Did you guys tell me that? And now everyone's going to think of the wrong day when they see the show. All right, join me back tomorrow for the Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. We'll have NFL football action, not only the Thursday night game, but also early action for Sunday. Also, more NBA, NHL, college basketball, and a little bit of college football as well. Join me then tomorrow for Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott.